Hello, everyone. Welcome to another weekly update. I apologize. We've been a little bit light on the content and videos this week outside of Shorts Movie Monday. We've had a lot of stuff going on. The missus has had a bunch of meetings and work, so we missed out on TV Tuesdays this week. I was going to do it by myself, but I ran out of time during the day, and then we had a screening for It, which we'll talk about this Sunday, which is like 3 hours long, so it got in late. So we opted to just postpone it. I was going to shoot a video, but I didn't. Had other stuff going on too. But I am here today for weekly update, and we've been trying to post stuff on the website still. So if you're missing out on just seeing the videos, if you go to our website, you'll see some of the other information popping up too. So hopefully you'll still see some of this stuff, and we'll do probably a double episode of TV Tuesdays, if not record an episode that's not on Tuesday and air it as TV Tuesday. So anyway, let's just jump into it really fast. There's been a lot of different little things. Not everything that's out there I brought up something I just found interesting that I would throw out there. Some of the stuff you may see, some of the stuff you may not. It's just what I wanted to tell you about. First off, with the Rambo Last Blood, we've been talking about Rambo a lot every episode. Rambo Last Blood's hitting theaters September 20th. They just had the 4K release of Rambo, the fourth film in the franchise. But Alamo Drafthouse has just announced that they're going to do a Rambo marathon. So if you go check out your Alamo Drafthouse website, look up the marathon, it'll tell you what cities are having it. They're going to show all four movies leading into the fifth one, and what obviously is going to probably be the last one. So what better way to spend your evening or your day with John Rambo shooting arrows through people's faces and blowing people up and seeing the saga as a whole. So that's Alamo Drafthouse. It's going to be wherever their Alamo Drafthouse is, I believe. I don't think every location is doing it, but I think a few of them. I know there's like two here doing it, to my knowledge. Todd McFarlane's been in all the news with a lot of Spawn information lately, with the talk of doing a new Spawn film. They had cast Jeremy Renner and Jamie Foxx, and then it hit a snag with financing or something. So they're still working on trying to get it made, but it's behind schedule now. Spawn 300 hit shelves yesterday, I believe, which is a big deal. It's become I think with issue 301, it'll be classified as the longest running independent comic book of all time. So 300 just had the return of a lot of different people coming to it, most notably Greg Capullo rejoining Todd McFarlane for Spawn, which was always some of my favorite non-McFarlane issues were the Capullo issues. Then you got J. Scott Campbell. You got a lot of different people working on it. But with 301, that'll boost it over the thing. But other news, in the midst of promotion Spawn 300, McFarlane also mentioned that he's looking to try to do 2 new Spawn animated series, probably after the feature film finally gets done. We had the original feature film in 1997. I don't think it got the greatest reviews. I've always been a fan of it. I know it's a little cheese. I know it's not the exact Spawn movie I wanted, but I love Michael Jai White. I love him in the movie. John Leguizamo, I'm one of his biggest fans, and I never expected him to play the clown. I thought he killed it. I actually watched that movie numerous times. I love it. But during that same time, I think it's from 1997 to like 99, they ran a darker, more accurate, if you will, Spawn animated series on HBO that was more gritty and dark. The movie I think was like PG-13, which is where a lot of people had the issues. The new movie is supposed to be rated R, but the animated series was geared more towards the adult market, if you will. Hold on. Sorry, the dog's going crazy about something. I have no idea what it was. We don't have time for that. So he's looking at those shows, but he's looking to do 2 new animated series, one for adults and one for children. So I don't know what the exact plan is. He hasn't really unleashed a lot of it. Obviously, it's still something. It could be just him spewing he wants to make in a show, and whether he makes it, we never know. Or it may never happen. But it makes you wonder if he's going to do something like the chibi Spawn that he does for Spawn Kills Everything or Everyone, whatever, and then maybe the darker tone, or if it's going to be a whole new incarnation. Excuse me. Only time will tell. with them not even starting the new Spawn movie yet. It'll be a while before we even see that. The other big thing for me was one of my favorite horror thriller, I guess, torture porn genre films. If you don't know what the torture porn genre, that's basically stuff that's like Saw, Hostel, things like that. Was this movie called The Collector. Marcus Dunstan directed it, and I believe he wrote it with his, oh my God, I just went blank. I forgot his partner's name, but they worked on the Feast trilogy, which I love, and then a bunch of the Saw movies, which Saw is my favorite horror franchise of all time. They did a movie called The Collector. It did well enough. I actually got to see some sneak peek of it when it was called Midnight Man years ago at like a horror convention. And but they did the movie. I fell in love with it. It did well enough. They made a movie called The Collection, which was the sequel. They stepped its game up. It was awesome as well. We always thought there should be more. Not long ago, they announced they were making The Collected, the third chapter in the franchise, which is already had me stoked. It had Josh Stewart returning to the film, who's been the one guy that's been kind of the constant. But they just announced, the rumor is Tom Atkins, who most genre people know him from Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Night of the Creeps, movies like that, that he's rumored to be a part of it. And now there's talk of could he be the person going to be playing the Collector himself? Is he just going to be like a cop investigating, or is he going to be a victim? Who knows? But it would be cool to have him on board because he's kind of an icon in the horror industry. But I think they're going to start in the fall. I think they're supposed to start shooting The Collected. So I'm super stoked for that. I can't wait for it. Something we hadn't heard about in a while is the Tomb Raider film. They had the Angelina Jolie two Tomb Raider films from years ago. But a couple of years back, they made a new one with Alicia Vikander, who took on the role of Tomb Raider, so Lara Croft. I liked the movie. I thought it did well enough. It seemed to do good at the box office. We hadn't heard a lot about it since. Well, they've just announced that Ben Wheatley will be directing the sequel with Alicia Vikander coming back as Lara Croft. And if you don't know who Ben Wheatley is, he directed the film Free Fire. That's the one I know offhand, which I thought was a great fun film with Brie Larson, Armie Hammer. It's like a 70s action kind of. It's really just one long shootout. There's not a lot to it other than some witty, fun dialogue and some shooting and whatnot. But he's going to be doing that, so that's fun to know that we're going to finally get that second Tomb Raider movie. And with his attention to action and stuff the way he does, it looks like it could be a lot of fun. Will Poulter, who a lot of people would know, he was in the Maze Runner franchise. He's done a lot of different stuff. He's just been announced as one of the main cast members to the Lord of the Rings TV series that's coming to Amazon. I don't know. I haven't looked into what character he's playing or anything yet, or if they've even announced that. But he's a great young actor that he's always fun to watch, whether he's a crazy bad guy or just a funny, silly kid. I believe he was in The Millers. I think it was. We're the Millers or something like that. And I believe that's him in that movie. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But he was great in that. The last kind of bigger news, not big news, but there's been a lot of stuff coming out about The Mandalorian. Just different thing, whether it's pictures. There's a couple of pictures of The Mandalorian finding some Trandoshans, which look like action figure poses, but another also with Gina Carano and The Mandalorian posing and getting ready to fight. But they did say that the series is going to explore kind of the birth of the First Order. So we're going to get to see, the world after the fall of the Death Star, but how did the First Order kind of rise? I don't know how in depth we're going to get, but it's interesting to know that is going to be an aspect. So again, it kind of connects everything together. There have been a bunch of, not a bunch, but a few trailers dropped this week. They just dropped the trailer for Jack Ryan season 2 from Amazon Prime. They also dropped a trailer for a remake. If you want to get technical, it's the remake of Black Christmas with Imogen Poots that's coming from Universal. You can check that one here out on our YouTube channel. Killer Sofa, which I love any movie that's like weird things, kind of like Deathbed, The Bed That Eats is one of my favorite horribly bad movies of all time. There's Death Spa. There's Rubber. There's all these movies that if you take an inanimate object and you make it a killer, and somehow more than likely it's going to entertain me. Killer Sofa looks like it's going to be really silly because the chair is actually alive, unlike some of the other ones. At least create an interesting way to make it demonic or whatever. This one almost looks like Cherry from Pee-wee's Playhouse, a different color, but it's actually like killing people. But you can check out the trailer for Killer Sofa right here on this YouTube channel. And the big trailer that dropped this week, probably the biggest one all week, is Bad Boys for Life. Finally the third chapter of the Will Smith, Martin Lawrence buddy cop franchise that we've been waiting for years, and most people thought was never going to happen. It's finally happening. I think it hits theaters in January. But the new trailer's here. You can check it out right here on our YouTube channel. They also announced like Spider-Man Far From Home coming out on the Blu-ray. Today they just announced Pan's Labyrinth is going to be hitting 4K. So there's a lot of fun stuff happening. There's so much more news out there that you can find. Those are just a sprinkling of things that I thought I would throw at you for a little quick snippet with the time that I have today. Also, I'll tell you some giveaways we're doing that I haven't done on this show very often or talked about, but most of them just launched this week. So I figured why not? October is just around the corner. I know we're just now into September, but October will be here before you know it. And season 2 of Star Wars Resistance, the second and final season, is going to be hitting the airwaves. So what better time to revisit season 1 with winning a copy of Star Wars Resistance, the complete first season. We got copies of this to give away. You go to our website, go to contest, find the link. It tells you anything you need to do. The email on there where it tells you the email's on the front page of our website. It says it on the thing. But you can enter to win a copy of Star Wars Resistance Season 1. And we also have 2 different versions of Aladdin you can win a copy of. Digital copies. We have the Walt Disney Signature Edition of Aladdin right here, the animated one. And we also have the live-action new Aladdin film. You can enter for a chance to win one and or both of these 2 digital copies right there on our website. So just go over there, hit contest. They're all listed there. And we may have some other contests popping up sooner than later, but those are the first ones for now. So you got Star Wars Resistance, you got Aladdin, and you got Aladdin. What more do you want? That's going to be it for today. I know it didn't seem like a lot. It was kind of rushed, mostly because of time and just a lot going on, personal stuff going on, as well as just time and work and a lot of different things. So I apologize. I'll probably be back later tonight with what's on my desk, aka my latest rant about something. But don't forget, we'll be back Sunday for Hollywood Matrimony Live right here on this YouTube channel, as well as on our Facebook page, where we're going to be discussing It. We're going to dive back into the original It. We're going to talk about the first part, and then we're going to talk about the all-new It Chapter 2 that's hitting theaters, I guess, tonight, technically. And then whatever else we happen to come across, we'll discuss. Then we'll be back for Monday, Marvel Martial Arts Movie Monday, where I take a deep dive into a movie from my collection. This week, I'm going to be talking about a specific film, but I'm bringing a backup film to go with it, as well as a book from the person that we're going to be talking about that is just now hitting the shelves, and we'll be talking about that on Monday. Then Tuesday, we'll be back for TV Tuesdays, which we may end up having to move or pre-record. We don't know yet because the missus may be changing her days, and then I'll be back for weekly update. Don't miss out if you have the chance. September 14th and 15th, I will be in Mississippi at the Golden Triangle Comic Con, set up with my art stuff. We'll probably do a live broadcast from there at some point, as well as do our Hollywood Matrimony Live episode from Mississippi that week. So you can go to our website at hollywoodmatrimony.com, scroll down and see the contest, but scroll down, you can look at event coverage. There's a link to the convention if you'd like to go check it out. Make sure you check out our website, but also check us out on Twitter at hollywoodmatter.com, or excuse me, Hollywood Matter, M-A-T-R, Instagram, Hollywood Matrimony, the Facebook at Hollywood Matrimony, and right here on this beautiful YouTube channel, Hollywood Matrimony. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And if you come in later, hit the subscribe button that's up here. And you can check out a trailer for Bad Boys over here that just launched if you haven't already checked it. If you had checked it, watch it again. Why not? I'll see you on Sunday or on my What's on My Desk episode coming up soon. And everybody have a wonderful day. And remember, love one another.